If you were injured in an accident,
It wasn't my fault.
but you called an Atlanta TV law firm.
That was my fault.
If you were injured in an accident,
Call Cromartie Law.
Personal service from local attorneys.
we don't get paid unless we win.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like a great basketball team, success starts with a solid game plan. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead.
I want to pass on everything that I do here. I mean, I love having my kids with me, learning from their dad. A lot of this stuff has been passed down from generation to generation. Yeah, things have changed over the years to make life easier, but still, some stuff you do, it's great to pass on to your kids.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're gonna take care of you.
if you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
At Northwest Georgia Media, we're all about capturing the moments that matter to you. From sports to arts, from concerts to business events. We're equipped to share what's happening in your world, live and in high definition. We leverage cutting-edge technology and a knowledgeable crew to see that your most unforgettable events remain just that, unforgettable.
You've got the graphics at a high level, ESPN style, scoreboard angles, instant replay, anything you would expect to see on a regular broadcast, we're getting in a high school ball game.
Their setup, you wouldn't even know that they're even in the building. You just trust that they're getting the job done.
Northwest Georgia Media, where the world is your audience. High
Yes,
school
sir.
basketball coverage
It is time for
begins now
the tournament,
on the
and we're very
Southeast
excited to be
Sports
back here for the
Network.
semifinal night
This broadcast
of this
is
year's
presented
tournament. And
by
that happens to be the
Rockmart Law.
72nd annual Rome 7
Produced
Hills Rotary
by
Christmas
Northwest
Tournament.
Georgia
And
Media
you are
in
either watching
collaboration
tonight
with
or listening to
WLAQ
coverage
Radio.
with Northwest Georgia Media and
You're watching
WLAQ.
high
I'm Matt
school
Davis with the
basketball
play-by-play
action
story
on
of the
the
first two
Southeast
games of the night,
Sports Network.
alongside Ian Griffin of V3. Sports, who's with us with color commentary. And Ian, we got off to a great start with the tournament yesterday in terms of the action that we saw in both locations. And I'm not sure what the crowd was like at Georgia Highlands because I didn't talk to anybody that was there per se, other than getting scores and things of that nature. But boy, it was almost jam-packed here by the end of the night yesterday. It was impressive for the first round.
Yeah, a good crowd showed up really early. I mean, that 4 o'clock start, I was surprised to see as many people here at the beginning, but throughout that game, which was a barn burner between the Lady Dragons and Lady Wolves, you just saw, I mean, it was pretty much standing room only by the time the boys' game started, and great atmosphere and some great basketball, which what you come to expect with this tournament.
Now, as you would expect, to your point, Ian, as you go through each round of the tournament, and tonight, of course, here at Shorter University, it's all semifinal games. All of that stuff that we just talked about, quality of basketball, big crowds, atmosphere, energy, things of that nature, well, that gets dialed up, and it's kind of like they say in the movie Spinal Tap, ours go to 11. Well, tonight, things go to 11, if you will.
That's right. Let's crank it up, make a custom amp, whatever you got to do. And we encourage you all, if you're listening or watching at home and you're within striking distance, get in the car and get here. The environment's going to be awesome. But if you can't, we've got you covered.
Got you covered on the radio and then also on the live stream. And speaking of that, before we jump into our commentary about our first matchup, I do want to take the opportunity here, and we'll do this throughout the broadcast, to recognize those that made it possible for us to be here to bring you coverage. We'll start on the video side. Of course, presenting sponsor today and throughout the rest of the tournament is Cromartie Law. Also, you have replay, which is going to be brought to you by Smith & Wood Wealth Management. And also on the video side of things, you've got Mathis True Value Hardware, World's Finest Chocolate. That's some good stuff, man. I try to get a few of those every year. Advent Health Redmond and the Herb Shop on Broad. Also on the radio side tonight, we've got radio coverage presented by Advent Health Redmond, also brought to you by Sylvan Learning Center, Equipment Outlet, Georgia Northwestern Technical College, Rome Orthopedic Center, Mathis Trailers and Equipment Sales, and of course we've got a couple more that we'll recognize as we go along throughout the rest of the night. Certainly don't want to leave out our friends over with Harbin and Atrium Health Floyd. So a lot of folks chipping in and making it possible for us to bring you good live coverage of this tournament throughout. We're excited about that. So with all of that said, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, Ian, we're just going to dive in head first and talk some basketball, man. We've got two big matchups coming up for you that you and I will be calling, and then a little bit later on in the evening, we're going to have Gavin Booker and also Luke Reynolds on, and they've got a couple of great matchups. So we've got a lot to talk about, including the matchup that's right before us coming up in about 12 minutes. We'll also just preview the rest of the tournament as well. But first, let's go ahead and take a break. We're going to step out for 3 minutes. We'll be back for more of the pregame. This is live coverage, again, of the 72nd Annual Rome 7 Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament, and we are glad that you are with us. We're back in 3.
Call Cromartie Law of Rome and get to know local attorneys that work with you personally. Call a TV law firm in Atlanta and get to know this.
Call Cromartie Law in Rome. They've collected tens of millions on behalf of their clients.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
I get ready for a long-range trip by finding inspiration to begin with. Where do I want to go and why? You go away on a big trip and you come back ready to go again.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're going to take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
I always like to refer to this part of the tournament as we edge closer to tip-off, and you're watching fans file in, and they've just cranked up the PA. They got some music going and all that kind of stuff, and it is the calm before the storm. But boy, a storm is a brewing because the crowd is filing in. The energy is starting to increase, and here in just a little bit, it is going to be just an absolute epic atmosphere. And welcome back in, everybody. This is the Winthrop King Center. Tonight, it is the 72nd annual Rome 7 Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament. We've got live coverage for you, courtesy of Northwest Georgia Media and WLAQ. And we're going to go ahead and dive in, Ian, and kind of talk about what we've got coming up tonight, and then we'll talk about this first matchup. But as far as action tonight from Shorter, these are all semifinal games that you're going to be watching on the broadcast or listening to. And at 4 o'clock, our first game is going to be the Rockmart Armuchee girls. Then at 5:30, it'll be the Rome Model boys. At 7 o'clock, it'll be the Model Pepperell girls. And then the last semifinal of the night will be back in the boys bracket. It's going to be the Darlington Rockmart boys for the nightcap. Now, meanwhile, down at Georgia Highlands College, it'll be the consolation bracket. You'll have some good matchups there. It'll be Calhoun Darlington girls at 4, Pepperell Coosa boys at 5:30. Coosa Rome girls at 7 o'clock, and they'll close out with Armuchee Calhoun boys at 8:30. So 8 games tonight, and then the tournament concludes tomorrow with the girls and boys championships, and then also some of the consolation games that will take place. I believe the third place game will be ahead of the championship games here, and then the rest of the consolation games will be at Georgia Highlands. So there's action in both locations, both of the rest of the days of the tournament today and tomorrow.
Yeah, no shortage of basketball. If you need to get your fix, you can come to the Winthrop King Center or head out to Georgia Highlands and watch some round ball, and some high-quality round ball at that.
Absolutely. And so let's go ahead and start talking about our first matchup that we've got for you today, and it's going to pit the Armuchee Lady Indians against the Rockmart Lady Yellow Jackets. And, of course, Armuchee having a great season so far. They're 6-4 and 3-1 out of their region, which is Region 7, Class A, Division I. Meanwhile, you've got a Rockmart team that's kind of had mixed results for a part of the season, but I feel like they're coming on strong. They're 3-6 overall, 1-3. They play in Region 7AA. And, of course, when you look at Armuchee to advance, they defeated Darlington in the first round to get to the semis, 68-29. Meanwhile, it was a close matchup between Calhoun and Rockmart, Battle of the Yellow Jackets, and Rockmart came out of that one 46-35, kind of pulling away in that one. So they got tested a little bit early, more so than Armuchee did.
And that's not a bad thing. That's gonna strengthen your resolve when the games get tight in the fourth quarter. And let's not forget, while that Calhoun team graduated some really good seniors off of their gold ball hoisting championship team last year, there's some skill there. There's still a lot of really good players on that Calhoun team, so that wasn't an easy out. So Rockmart's going to come in here. I expect this one to be a four-quarter fight.
I would agree with you 100%, no question about that. I don't have any information in terms of the scoring that Rockmart had in their victory over Calhoun. I couldn't dig that up today, but I do have a little bit of information about the Armuchee Lady Indians and where their production came from in their victory over Darlington. So I apologize to the Rockmart fans that are tuning in. I dug around and I just could not find it. But the Armuchee Lady Indians, they had 3 players that were in double digits in their victory over Darlington. They got 23 points, a game leading 23 points from Josie Harris, also 17 points from Tori Vitello, and then Kelsey Art, well, she chipped in 12 points. So anytime you've got that many players that get into double digits, you're playing together as a team and finding ways to get the ball in the hoop.
Well, you know, you've got a few upperclassmen here on this Armuchee team, and one of them's at the most important position, and the coach's daughter, Kelsey Arp, who's running the trigger. But this is an unselfish team. You listen to these girls talk. They play for each other. They're building up the underclassmen, and you're going to see them share the ball and create good shots, not play selfish basketball.
Definitely one of the hallmarks of a Michelle Arp coach team. Another hallmark of the team is putting pressure on you on defense, because a lot of the offense that you see from this team early in the season gets produced by the way that they put pressure on teams on defense, force turnovers, things of that nature. And when you can do that, you can force those turnovers and get some opportunities to get your offense going and get some buckets.
Yeah, and those easy buckets, getting out in transition, running the floor, and that's how you can separate yourself, especially from a good team that's going to challenge you. So expect them to bring it all, that depth that they have, and that could be a big factor in this ball game.
Now for the Rockmart Lady Yellow Jackets, one of the things that you notice right off the bat when you see this team, and particularly their roster, is they fill up the scorebook. There's no question about that. They've got a bunch of players on the roster, and watching them warm up, they've got some length to this team, they've got some depth, and they've got some athleticism. So that's going to be one of the things that this Armuchee team is going to have to deal with over the course of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we could be in for another Wee Hunt-esque hockey line-changing substitution strategy here from Rockmart with all these players on the roster, and they're not just on the roster. They get out there and play. So we'll see how that factors into this matchup.
Well, it's hard to believe it, but we are less than 3 minutes away from the tip-off of our first game, so we better take one more break. We'll come back. We'll have the national anthem. We'll give you the starting lineups, and we'll get rolling inside the Winthrop King Center on the campus of Shorter University. Armuchee and Rockmart girls in a semifinal game coming up in 2 minutes. We'll be back.
I get ready for a long-range trip by finding inspiration to begin with. Where do I want to go and why? And usually that involves adventure, something I haven't seen before, something new, a new trail to ride, a new place to get to. You go away on a big trip and you come back ready to go again.
Welcome back into Shorty University and the Winthrop King Center as we get ready to launch into the game. We're going to give you the starting lineups and have the national anthem here in just a couple of moments. Did you have a couple of comments before we jump into that?
We know we talk about this a lot with this tournament, but the SEC uses the tagline, it just means more, right? Well, I'm looking out here and I just noticed that the warm-up jerseys that Armuchee had on were custom. It said Christmas tournament on the back of them. Man, it was cool. So you don't think this tournament just means a little bit more to these players? I think so.
And then, of course, Coach Arp has a jacket on or a shirt or something like that, and it's got a basketball with a Santa Claus hat on it. So she's dressed for the occasion as well. Let's give you the national anthem, then we'll get you the starting lineups, and we'll get things rolling here in our first semifinal game of the evening. Let's turn it over to the PA announcer. Just about go time inside the Winthrop King Center. Also, of course, we want to let you know that we're glad you are with us. Best thing to do is to get out here and experience this for yourself. But in the event that you can't make it, we're glad to provide coverage here with Northwest Georgia Media and WLAQ. I'm Matt Davis alongside Ian Griffin. Let's give you the starting lineups and let's watch some basketball, shall we?
Let's go.
Going to start with the Rockmart Lady Yellow Jackets here. We're going to start with number 2, Kamari Peak. She is a freshman in the starting lineup tonight here in the semifinals of the Christmas Tournament. Number 12, Brianna Benonez. She is a junior. Also number 14, Nyasia Darden, a freshman. Number 20, Anaya Prater. She is a junior. And then number 22, Atlanta Mitchell, a junior as well. That rounds out the starting lineup for Rockmart Lady Jackets, and their head coach is Steve Luke. Now for for the Armuchee Lady Indians, we're going to start with number 5, Kelsey Arp, a junior. Number 10, Peyton Puckett, a senior. Number 11, Josie Harris, a junior. Number 14, Aubrey McConkey, a junior. And number 21, Tori Vitello. She is a sophomore. And, of course, the head coach for Armuchee, longtime head coach, had a lot of success there, is Michelle Arp. So there's your starting lineups, and it's just about time to roll.
It is. It's going to be a showdown. Time for tip-off. And, man, this train won't end until what, 11 o'clock tonight?
Possibly so.
Yeah,
Last night we finished a little bit after 10. We were running just a little bit behind, but you never know. We're going to have some close games. I got a feeling today, so who knows. We may have overtime situations and, fouling at the end of the games, lots of timeouts, things of that nature. I think it's going to be that kind of night, but we'll see what happens. We're ready to go in this first one as Armuchee and Rockmart ready to tip off and get this thing rolling. For Armuchee in the circle is Aubrey McConkey, and for the Rockmart Lady Jackets, well, she's turned sideways, and I can't catch her number, but we'll get it here in just a couple of moments. And I think we've got a question mark about something from the officials. We're having a conference, and we hadn't even tipped this thing off yet. So not sure exactly what the discussion is right now at the moment, but they are very intent on making sure that everything is just right before we get this game rolling inside the Winthrop King Center, which I know everybody appreciates. By the way, the young lady in the circle here for the Rockmart Lady Jackets is Anaya Prater. So Prater and also McConkey, and it looked like there was some confusion on which side each team was going to be going. Yeah. So that's sorted out, and we're ready to go. They switched it a couple of times.
You warmed up on the other end, so they've got it right. That's important for the shooters,
Well, they got it all settled, and ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We have tip-off. Tip is going to go to Armuchee, and they will start on offense, try to get their offensive set rolling here initially. Pass deflected and stolen away out of the paint. Coming back the other way, Rockmart, they will have their first offensive possession of the basketball game. And we are underway inside the Winthrop King Center. Going to work it to the left wing side. Peaks got it, goes back up top, gets into the hands of Mitchell. Mitchell going to fire the three, and that one's going to be left short, goes out of bounds, and Armuchee will get the ball.
This is the first field goal attempt, didn't draw iron, and it'll go back the other way. Both teams come up empty on their first offensive possession.
So bringing it up the floor is going to be Kelsey Arp, their floor general. She fires it right wing side. Looking down low, they're going to dribble back up top. Arp fires it left side, gets it to Josie. Now back to Arp, going to fire the three, and it is short. Going to go off the front of the rim. It ricochets off a couple of players. Rockmart comes out with it. They go left wing side.
Good look there for Arp, just didn't get it to go down.
Peak with the basketball for the Yellow Jackets. They work it to the right wing. For the folks listening on the radio, we'll describe their uniforms. Steal. Kelsey Arp's got it. Going to work it back the other way. Quickly across the timeline. Fires left. Quick shot. That one's off the side of the rim. The putback won't go. However, Ian, we're going to see our first free throws early in this one. Aubrey McConkey is going to the free throw line.
Yeah, great job. Good position there by McConkey in transition. She got down to the block. Boxed out. Got the putback. Almost got that one to fall, and she'll get two at the free throw line.
So McConkey stands at the free throw line. First one on the way is going to rattle off the rim. So neither team has seen one go in just yet, but that'll change here soon.
Kind of settle in a little bit.
Hey, I mean, I know you have nerves the first day, but, the stakes get higher each game. So I think there's always going to be nerves at the early part of the game. She missed them both, by the way. We're still scoreless. Rockmart on the other end with it. Dribbling with the ball's Atlanta Mitchell. Ball's poked free, but it stays with Rockmart. They work to the left side. Now backing up is Mitchell. Picks up her dribble. Going to fire it underneath baseline. Opens up the floor. Puts the shot up. Kind of a lob. And a whistle.
And that one ricocheted out of bounds off Vitello. Refs are letting them play a little bit there. There was some contact, but I know Matt Davis appreciates it when they let him play a little bit.
Oh, 100%. Love a good physical game. Green checks in for Rockmart, by the way. Right now, Rockmart with the ball after the inbound pass. Scoop shot high off the glass and in. Kamari Peak gets the first bucket of the game. It's for Rockmart.
A good job identifying the screen and working her way to the basket with a nice finish off the glass.
2-0 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Cross-court pass. Goes out of bounds. Armuchee can't handle it, and it's coming back to Rockmart, so trying to build a little momentum here, Ian.
Yeah, so far, Armuchee struggling in their half-court sets to get good shots.
Peak going to bring it up the floor. She brings the ball across the timeline, shades to the left wing side, and that's going to be a moving screen, I believe, against Rockmart, and a turnover.
Our officials are dialed in, man. I'm watching them pregame going around getting fist bumps from everybody. Even Grayson Atkins got a fist bump down there.
He sure did. Running the PA here tonight at home on Christmas break from Samford University. Model graduated last year. Kelsey Art with it, was an intern at WLAQ. They fired underneath, goes out of bounds, and a couple turnovers here early for Armuchee.
Yeah, that was a good look. Pass was a little bit high, but Vitello had a chance to get that one, and had she wrangled it in, it would have been an easy layup. She was open, so Armuchee's just got to settle down a little bit. Like you said, I think we're just getting some early game jitters from both teams.
Oh, 100%. Totally understandable as well. Bringing up the floor is going to be Prater here for Rockmart. She goes down the far sidelines and across the timeline, dribbles right, hands it off to Mitchell. Mitchell's at the top of the key, being guarded by Harris. Now works her way left wing side, back up top. Green with the basketball, going to hand it off back to Mitchell. Mitchell stops, passes it underneath. They're going to work it low, puts it up, misses the shot, put back. That's too strong. Player hits the deck. And the ball stays with Rockmart, so they may get another look. This one's going into the backcourt, picked up by Armuchee. They'll go fast towards the bucket, misses the shot. Second look won't go, and we have a foul.
And McConkey, or was it Vitello that had the breakaway there?
Josie Harris is going to the free throw line.
Harris was in the right place at the right time, and it was Vitello that missed the layup. Harris gets the rebound and the putback. Couldn't get it to fall, but back to the free throw line for the Indians.
And the first one's off the front of the rim, so Armuchee still yet to get the lid off the basket from the field or from the charity strike. Second shot on the way for Harris, and that one's going to drop. And Ian, we talk about this all the time. Sometimes you just need to see it go in once, and then you start to see more shots fall in line.
Absolutely. They have taken the lid off the scoring jar here and can relax and settle in.
Atlanta Mitchell to the left wing side here for Rockmart. They still lead it, though, 2-1 with 4:59 remaining here in the first quarter. Steal. Here comes Armuchee on the other end, off the glass and through for Peyton Puckett. And her first bucket, it's 3-2. Armuchee takes their first lead.
Buckets for Puckett, and Armuchee has their first lead, as you mentioned, off the steal and transition. They're starting to get some pressure on this Rockmart offense.
And as a result, Coach Luke calls a timeout. We'll take it as well. Back in 30 seconds.
If you've been injured by a car wreck, dog bite, slip and fall, or someone else's negligence, you need Cromartie Law. Call 706-622-4853 for your free consultation. Get personal service from local attorneys.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
Rockmart will send the ball in motion here on offense, greeted by some pressure here from Armuchee. They bounce it in, bringing it up the floor is going to be Brianna Benonez. And now she's going to pass it to Atlanta Mitchell, who will bring it across the timeline and across the hawk head at midcourt. Now she crosses the beak, sends it right wing side, gets it over to Peak. She'll back up around the logo on the far side. Now they're going to work it towards the right wing side of the floor. Now they'll reset between the circles, trying to work around a screen. Driving is Mitchell. She gets blocked. Good block there by Vitello for Armuchee, and the ball is stolen away. McConkey came out with it. Now they pass it down low. Great sequence for Armuchee. Shot is up from Vitello, and it's through. Wow.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Arp to Puckett to Vitello in transition for an easy bucket.
And here comes Rockmart the other way. Numbers in their favor. And a whistle's going to get, well, it goes out of bounds, actually.
Yeah, Avery Green just couldn't handle the rock there. Went off her knee and out of bounds. And Armuchee here on a 5-0 run, sparked by some pressure off made baskets and some easy buckets in transition.
All right, so Rockmart's going to go to the trap. A little bit of a press here. Armuchee's able to pass out of it. Josie Harris fires it outside. Quick three. That's going to be a miss. Rebound's going to be picked up by Rockmart. Now they got her trapped in the corner trying to bail out on a pass. She sends it right to an Armuchee player who throws it out of bounds, and now it's coming back to Rockmart. That was an interesting sequence.
It was. Armuchee got the trap and the steal, and then Arp had an open teammate under the basket. She just fired that pass a little too high.
Atlanta Mitchell fires it in, and they get it across the timeline with a pass. Prater's got it. Got to hand it off to a teammate. That's Peak, who's got it on the right wing side. Dribbles between her legs, now works towards the baseline. Corner three on the way. That one's almost wedged between the backboard and the rim. Armuchee comes out with a rebound. Here comes Harris with the basketball. Actually, yep, that is Harris. Here's a quick look. That one's off the side of the rim, won't go. Rebound is taken by Benonez.
Armuchee's starting to get some good looks, and they will eventually start to drop.
Rockmart with the basketball. Atlanta Mitchell. Now they send it to the right wing side. Now working it back this way towards the top of the key. Mitchell with the basketball, backs up, shakes off a defender, passes it to a teammate. Another pass, a shot. That one rattles off the rim. It won't go. Arp's there for the rebound, and we got a whistle and a foul. I believe they're going to get Brianna Benonez on that one.
They are, and Arp with a nice rebound. Great box out from the point guard there. And before she could get the break rolling, she was fouled. Just a reach there. That would drive a coach crazy, extending those arms.
Oh, 100%. So Arp feeds it in to Harris. She gives it right back to Arp, who goes across the timeline, sends it left wing side, gets it over to Puckett. Puckett sends it back to Arp, near side, gets it to Harris. Now back to Arp, looks at the bucket. Now Harris is going to fire the three. That one's off the back of the rim. Ball knocked loose, ricochets off a couple of players. Arp comes out with it, fires down low. McConkey off the glass. Great feed from Arp, but then the finish from McConkey.
And McConkey kept that play alive by tipping that ball out and getting the second chance opportunity. So just good team basketball from the Indians.
Pressure coming here from Armuchee, almost stolen away. Rockmart trying to get it down the floor in time, and they do just in time. They go into the lane, shot off the glass. Wow. And that one is going to be through for Brianna Benonez. That's the second field goal for Rockmart.
And Kamari Peak with a heck of a dime there as well.
You're not kidding, man. 7-4, Armuchee leads it by 3. And we've got 1 minute and 48 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Here's Harris, wide open look, got her feet set. Misses by just a hair.
Still hadn't gotten one of those from behind the arc to fall, but they're getting some really good looks.
You can kind of feel it coming.
Yeah, absolutely. But Rockmart, again, we had a similar game to this yesterday where you look up at the scoreboard, you might think Armuchee's up by 9 or 10 points, but it's only a 3-point game here.
Oh, I agree. There's a shot from Harris, knocks down the three. Just as we
spoke
mentioned,
it into existence.
You could feel it coming.
Yeah.
10-4, 1:28 left to go in the quarter, and we got a whistle. And it took her too long to get the ball in bounds, so Armuchee's getting the ball back.
Yeah, this full court pressure giving Rockmart fits here in the first quarter.
And so Armuchee with a 10-4 lead with 1:27 has got the ball and all the momentum right now. Harris surveys the floor, gets it to Art. Now back to Harris, handles the ball, gets it back to Art, fires the long-range three, and that one's off the back of the rim.
Well, they're going to get a reach there. It's not going to go. That'll go against Josie Harris, yeah. This full court pressure continuing to be applied here by Armuchee.
We get ready for Johnson to inbound the ball. No, actually, it's going to be number 12, Brianna Benonez, to inbound the ball this time. She surveys the floor, fires it in. Nice crisp pass, inbounds this time. They get it to Mitchell. Mitchell dribbles across the center court stripe, protecting the ball well. She'll back up between the circles, now works left, drives towards the low block, goes right in and gets fouled, attacking the rim.
Yep, she went in and Vitello got her with the body. So that'll be 2 shots. Are these the first free throw attempts for Rockmart?
It is. They are, I should say.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout here.
We'll take this one also. 1:05 left to go first quarter. Armuchee up 10-4 with Rockmart going to the free throw line here in just moments. We're back in 30 seconds.
Greetings, everyone. Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
Rockmart's Atlanta Mitchell at the free throw line, and as Ian pointed out just before the break, first free throws of the game for Rockmart in this one, and the first one rattles in.
Take a looking stroke.
So we got 1:05 left to go here in the Winthrop King Center, Shorter University. We've got Rockmart and Armuchee playing in a semifinal game in the girls bracket. Second shot, and that one's off the side of the rim. Arp is there to get the long rebound. She'll bring it up the floor, running the point. Turns, works around a screen set by Harris, fires it left wing side. Now they're going to get it inside. McConkey, strong take to the basket. Second shot won't go, and Rockmart has about 4 players there in the lane, and they finally get a rebound there. Long range three-point shot. Oh, and she nails it. What a good looking shot from Kamari Peak. Wow.
What is it with players wearing number 2 and dressed in black and gold in this tournament?
I don't know, but she got a steal just as you said that, and she's driving one-on-one with Harris, puts it up, and that one rattles in. Kamari Peak.
She's got a similar build to Caitlin House as well.
And we blink our eyes, Ian, and we got a tie ball game, 10 apiece. Rockmart and Armuchee, 14 seconds left first quarter, and here's a long-range three. That one's left short, sails out of bounds. And it's coming back to Rockmart. They got a chance to take the lead here with 8 seconds left in the quarter.
They sure do. I wouldn't be surprised. Armuchee's shooting a lot of threes, and they're getting some open looks, but McConkey and Vitello, these bigs that they've got, they really know how to get themselves in scoring position there on the block. So I wouldn't be surprised if they focus on that going forward, because it's there. It's been there, and if they feed them, I think it'll yield a lot of points.
It'll be interesting to see what sort of strategy they employ. I kind of agree with you. There's a long cross-court pass, and they get it into the hands of Rockmart's Anaya Prater. Sends it right wing side, gets it over to Johnson, and now they're going to drive low, kick it back out, and I don't think they were aware of how much time they had to work with. They didn't get a shot off. So that's going to end the first quarter, and we are tied at 10. So we're going to send it back to the studio. It is Rockmart and Armuchee. We're back in 1 minute for the second quarter.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like a great basketball team, success starts with a solid game plan. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead.
Serious car wrecks deserve serious action. Call Cromartie Law in Rome.
They've collected tens of millions on behalf of their clients.
When you have a serious injury, you want a serious law firm on your side. You want Rick working on your personal injury case.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
And we welcome you back into live coverage of the 72nd annual Seven Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament. Rockmart will inbound the ball as we start our second quarter right where we started. We're tied up. 10 apiece between the Yellow Jackets and the Indians here in the girls bracket semifinal, first game of the night from Shorter University. Ball stolen away. Harris gives it off to Arp, all alone off the glass, makes the layup and retakes the lead for Armuchee.
A great steal there by Harris, and she found the outlet pass.
McConkey and the feed to Harris. Now back around to Arp. She'll back up between the circles and set up the half-court offense here for this Armuchee team. Going to go back up top to Harris. Now left wing side. Arp She's going to find Harris on the right wing this time, drives baseline. Vitello back to Arp. Arp starts to drive back to Harris, looking for those threes. Now they feed it inside. Quick look inside by Harris after the feed from McConkey. And they get another bucket.
2 turnovers, 2 points, or 4 points off those turnovers in the second quarter for Armuchee.
7 minutes to go here in the first half. Armuchee's got a 4-point lead. Ball knocked into the backcourt, and that is going to be a violation against Rockmart.
3 possessions for Rockmart, and they've turned it over each and every time. And that shift in the strategy, I'm sure you've noticed, they're working it to the bigs and feeding from the post. And that last bucket they scored with the dish down to McConkey, back to Harris, was a thing of beauty.
It really was. Great ball movement here from Armuchee. Arp has got the basketball. Now they're going to send it left wing side. Vitello's got it. Now back up top to Arp, inside to McConkey, backs her way in, fires it back out, kick out 3, Arp on the way. That one's high off the rim, won't go. But Arp gets the long rebound, sends it inside. McConkey back to Harris. Harris working towards the baseline, fires it back to Arp. Arp makes a move towards the bucket, kicks it out. There's Harris for 3. That one's high off the rim. Tracking it down is Vitello. Another opportunity for Armuchee and a blocking foul against Rockmart.
They're going to get Addison Albert with the body there right on the baseline. And Armuchee working it inside out here. The ball is popping around the perimeter. Just some really good passing and teamwork here from the Lady Indians.
Arp gets it outside, now back to Arp, now back inside. They kick it out. Harris wide open 3 and nails it.
Gorgeous ball movement once again.
Harris now with 2 threes in the game, and Ian, she's got 9 points, leads all scorers in this one. Rockmart across the timeline. 6 minutes to go in the half. Armuchee back to a 7-point lead in this one. Atlanta Mitchell. Rockmart really needs a bucket here. They're going to send it to the right wing. Rockmart with the basketball. Now back up top. They give it to Atlanta Mitchell. Fires the long-range 3. That one's off the rim. And the rebound picked up by Vitello.
A little bump from behind there. And you feel like Rockmart's got to weather this storm, because right now Armuchee has found a different gear.
And you can tell there's some frustration there for Rockmart on the body language and facial expression. So I wouldn't be surprised here in a couple of moments if you didn't see a timeout here, just to kind of rally the troops here a little bit and settle back in.
Well, they've also got to make some adjustments on defense, because right now Armuchee's found a new way to attack them, and it's been very successful.
Arp across the timeline. They're going to fire left, get into the corner to Josie Harris. Now back around to Arp. Arp with 2 defenders in her face, gives it to Vitello. She'll shoot the 3 and knocks it down as well.
There we go. Vitello knocking it down. The second 3 of the ball, or no, that's third 3 of the ball game.
And once again, Rockmart has trouble getting the ball inbound, and it's coming back to Armuchee. Armuchee has a tremendous amount of momentum right now in this ball game with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, 10-0 run here to open the second quarter. We were all knotted up when this thing started.
Josie Harris with the basketball, works her way right, trying to work around a screen from McConkey. Defense does a good job there, but Vitello's open, puts up the shot, misses. Rebound's going to be, well, we're going to have a jump ball. And it's pointing in Armuchee's direction. And it feels like everything is pointing in Armuchee's direction over the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also just impressed how well everybody on the floor for Armuchee is getting on the offensive glass, guards and bigs.
Wide open 3 on the way. That one's going to roll across the rim, and a rebound picked up by Rockmart, a team that just really needs to see the ball go in on this possession.
Wouldn't be surprised to see that go through Kamari Peak.
Right now, Atlanta Mitchell with the basketball, dribbling. Going to fire it up to the top of the key. Ball got loose, but Mitchell retains possession here for the Yellow Jackets. 4:40 left to go in the second quarter. Mitchell trying to work around the screen, but the defense is suffocating right now from Armuchee.
Yeah, there's your timeout.
Yeah, you could feel that coming. And so anyway, 4:33 left to go in the first half. Right now, Armuchee leads it 20-10 on a 10-0 run to start the second quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. So far in, she's the leading scorer in this one, but right now for Armuchee, you have Josie Harris, who's knocked down 2 threes in total. She's got 9 points in this one so far.
Yeah, unselfish basketball, though. Even though she's got half the points, the ball's popping around. They're sharing it.
Quick look off the glass.
Who else?
Rockmart needed that one. Yes, sir. It was Kamari Peak.
And Peyton Puckett was doing a great job of keeping, the ball away from Peak, but the coach called a timeout. They got a play in, and it worked, so that breaks the drought.
So that cuts it back to an 8-point game after the bucket from Peak. And by the way, she is also with 9 points right now. Here's a corner 3 from Harris. That one goes in and out, almost dropped.
She shuffled before she went to cross over and did a little 2-step in there first, so Peak turns that one over. She was getting ready to get out and run in transition. Peak's a dangerous player. They're going to need her to play her best if they want to hang in this game with this Armuchee team.
And particularly in the second quarter, the turnover's been a problem. Shot off the inbound pass, and that was Bella Duck getting her first points of the half.
Yeah, great set play there on the inbound. Duck flashed the basket. That was too easy.
So Armuchee back to a 10-point, 22-12 lead. We've got 3 minutes and 48 seconds left of the second quarter. Rockmart with the basketball. They're going to send it up top. Backing up with it is going to be Kamari Peak. Peak going to try to work around a screen from Mitchell. Mitchell gets the ball, thought about the 3. Defense got there quick, had second thoughts. Rockmart with it, going to drive towards the baseline this time. Now they'll back up, get it around the perimeter, trying to work it inside. Pass is too strong, but it was deflected by Armuchee.
Yeah, I think that one went off Bella Duck's fingertips last. And it'll stay on the far end of the court with the Rockmart Yellow Jackets.
And so Peak set to send it in motion here for Rockmart. She surveys the floor, looking around, trying to find the open player, and there's a quick pass. They had to get it off quick because the shot clock was down to just a few seconds, and unfortunately, they weren't able to get it to the rim.
Yeah, that was a catch-and-shoot situation, and the violation will give the ball back to Armuchee.
And so Arp feeds it into Harris. Harris right back to Arp. And Arp's going to bring it up the floor here for Armuchee. She's across the hawk head at mid-floor. Looks off to the right side. Now back up top. Arp going to send it to Puckett. They get it inside to Vitello. There is Arp with a 3, and that was not Vitello. Check it. It was Bella Duck with the feed and Arp with the 3-point shot.
3 passes around the perimeter. A turnover here from Rockmart. And this Armuchee offense is fun to watch. I mean, the way they share the ball, and they're forcing Rockmart to defend the post, but the post players have such great court vision. They're finding the guards out there wide open for threes. And if they're not there, they can turn their back to the basket and find ways to score on the block.
And Ian, with that said, after that made 3, Armuchee has their biggest lead of the game. They're up by 13. Here's Art, feeds it out. Puckett fires the 3, and it is through. Man.
Heat check.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to start adding up threes here in a minute because that's a key stat, no doubt about it. 28-12, 16-point lead now for Armuchee. And they've been in control here the last 6 minutes of this ball game. Rockmart with the basketball on the left wing side, and it was one of those things you could kind of feel it brewing. You knew they would find their rhythm. Shot on the way, and that one is off the side of the rim. Arp's there for the rebound, brings it back for Armuchee, gets it a Puckett. They want to work fast underneath, and that is going to be a foul.
Yeah, and actually what happened there was Aisha Darden, she pushed McConkey into Puckett, so that'll, I don't know if that's a shooting foul or not. I'm not sure how that works.
I don't think she was in the act of shooting yet, so
yeah, they're gonna
it's on the floor.
Yeah.
Arp surveys the floor. They're going to sit it in right wing side. There's Harris for 3. That one's a little off the mark. Rebound's going to be picked up by Rockmart. Under 2 minutes to go in the half with Armuchee leading it and stealing the ball away. Arp's got it now. She'll drive towards the low block, puts up the shot. Misses the shot. Rebound goes to Rockmart. They've got the numbers underneath. Now the defense gets back quick, and they couldn't get down quick enough. The offense couldn't.
It looked like it was going to be an easy bucket.
Long 3 on the way, and that one's off the side of the rim, and Karam's out of bounds. Coming back to Armuchee.
Tell you, man, I am super impressed with the passing ability of Armuchee's bigs. They do a fantastic job.
And one of the things that you can tell right off the bat with this team, even though it took a little time to get that rhythm going, you can see that the team chemistry is there for this group this year. No question about it. They've been playing together for a long time. We've known these names for a few years calling this tournament, and they are dialed in. Here is Josie Harris on the left wing, fires the three. That's off the side of the rim. Arp gets the rebound, ball loose on the floor, and we are going to have a whistle.
I'm hoping we can get a stat sheet after this game, because Arp is on her way to a triple-double if she keeps up. She's got at least 5 rebounds and a few assists, and she's got 5 points to go with it.
Fires it outside to Puckett, right back to Arp on the left wing side. Now around to the right wing, and Harris, the ball rolls off her leg and goes out of bounds, so it comes back to Rockmart. You know, Ian, so far in this second quarter, Armuchee has outscored Rockmart 18-2.
Yep, yeah, just on fire. Found their rhythm.
Here comes Rockmart into the paint. Little runner, misses the shot, but she does get to the charity stripe. And, you know, that's part of the recipe if you're Rockmart here. You got to attack inside, try to get to the free throw line, because the only way you're going to be able to overcome a deficit like that, you got to get some points for the clock stop.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Armuchee has the luxury of having a lot of depth in the front court too, so they can roll them in even if you get one in foul trouble. And we're seeing 2 Lady Indians we have not seen thus far. That is Trinity Park and Joy Fountain on the floor.
Anaya Prater knocks down the first free throw, by the way, gets ready for her second, and that one is also going to go through. And, you know, the reason I say that in particular about driving inside, getting the free throw line, I don't think we've seen the shooting prowess on the other end from the perimeter like we've seen with Armuchee. So, all right, steal. Here comes Kamari Peak with it, goes right to the lane, puts it up off the glass and through. She's having a great game.
Yeah, and they're going to have to find ways to get her the ball and let her work.
And she's getting the ball for herself. Ball is stolen away. Peak going to fire the three, and that one's off the side of the rim. It won't go. Rebound goes to Bella Duck and Armuchee. McConkey brings it across the timeline. Now they're going to feed it up top to Puckett. Puckett between the circles, works it to McConkey. Now to the right wing, fires the three, shot on the way and through. That was Trinity Park.
Yeah, just gets into the game, her first field goal attempt, and she drains it.
All right, so Kamari Peak across the midcourt stripe for Rockmart. Dribbles to the right, being guarded by Peak, or Park rather. Shot on the way, and that was actually the end of the half.
Yeah.
So Ian, it is 31-16 in favor of Armuchee as they busted this one wide open. And we are officially at halftime of our first game of the night and the first semifinal. And Armuchee trying to punch their ticket to play in the gold ball round coming up tomorrow. And we'll see what happens. Still a lot of basketball to play though. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. We're glad you're with us here on live coverage on WLAQ and also Northwest Georgia Media. We'll be back after a 3-minute timeout to run down the scoring from the first half.
If you were injured in an accident,
It wasn't my fault.
but you called an Atlanta TV law firm.
That was my fault.
If you were injured in an accident,
Call Cromartie Law.
Personal service from local attorneys.
we don't get paid unless we win.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're gonna take care of you.
if you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
I get ready for a long-range trip by finding inspiration to begin with. Where do I want to go and why? And usually that involves adventure, something I haven't seen before, something new, a new trail to ride, a new place to get to. You go away on a big trip and you come back ready to go again.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
If you've been injured by a car wreck, dog bite, slip and fall, or someone else's negligence, you need Cromartie Law. Call 706-622-4853 for your free consultation. Get personal service from local attorneys.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
Well, before we run down the scoring there from the first half, I do want to take an opportunity to recognize the crew and the video broadcast and also the radio today. And again, we want to remind you where we are today. We are inside the Winthrop King Center, which is up on the hill on the campus of Shorter University. Of course, serving as great hosts here to the tournament this year for the winners bracket the rest of the way. Of course, we got started here yesterday with the first round. We got the semifinals today. We'll close out the tournament tomorrow on a Saturday. Some Saturday hoops for you with the championship, and we'll see some gold balls hoisted at the end of those two games in the nightcaps coming up tomorrow. But here is the crew for today's broadcast. We're going to start with midcourt cameras. We got Afton Taylor and Bennett Abernathy right next to us. You've got Clay Hardiker and Caleb Bice on sideline cameras. PTZ and scoreboard is Levi Miller. Also, actually, Levi is out, I've just been told, so scratch that. Dylan Bice is for him today, so thank you, Nathan, on that. Johnny on the spot there. Replay is Nathan Patterson, also the guru of Northwest Georgia Media. Director is Mike Garrett. I'm Matt Davis alongside Ian Griffin, bringing you commentary of our first two games. And then a little bit later, we'll have Gavin Booker and Luke Reynolds on for the second games, or the third and fourth games, I should say, rather, of the evening, courtesy of WLAQ. And then we've got Lynn Butler back in the studio. So quite a group of awesome people putting on the broadcast tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic crew. And looking forward to seeing how these games play out.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the scoring there from the first half. And when you look at it, it was truly a tale of two quarters. Very close in the first quarter. We were tied up at 10 apiece after the first, but then Armuchee would proceed to outscore Rockmart there in the second quarter, 21-6. to take a 31-16 lead into the locker room. Here's how it broke down individually. We'll start with Rockmart. Most of their production came from Kamari Peak. You heard that name a lot there in the first half. She picked up 11 points, including 1 3. They would get 2 points from Brianna Benonez, 2 points from the free throw line from Anaya Prater, and then they would pick up 1 point from the free throw line from Atlanta Mitchell. Meanwhile, on the other side, and Ian, we talked about how many points that Josie Harris had there in that first half. She was definitely the leading scorer for Armuchee, but they did, to your point, spread it around. They had they had production from a lot of sources,
yes,
I should
they
say.
did.
As a matter of fact, they would have 8 players that scored in the first half. And they would get 5 points apiece from Kelsey Arp and Peyton Puckett. You would have 2 points for Aubrey McConkey, 3 points from Trinity Park, 5 points from Tori Vitello. Bella Duck had 2. And then you would get 9 points from their leading scorer, Josie Harris. And when you look at the 3-point statistic there from the first half, it was kind of interesting because it took a while to get that part of their game going and see those shots go in. They made 1 in the first quarter, but they opened up and made 5 threes there in the second quarter.
And a lot of those, I think at least 3 of those in the second quarter, came from working the ball down to the post, which they were trying to do in the first quarter, but they were kind of settling for working the ball around the perimeter, and they were getting open shots that weren't falling. But once they started attacking the post and those Rockmart defenders started to crash down, the quick ball movement inside out created some really good looks, and they heated up and were on fire there in the second quarter.
And to your point, Ian, we got to take one more break, but watching that ball movement and how this team, once they get cranked up and in rhythm, how they're in lockstep with each other, it's really an impressive thing to watch.
Yeah, the ball is popping around the half court, and it's really a thing of beauty.
We better catch our breath. We're getting ready for another half. It's going to be Armuchee and Rockmart, and the second half of our first semifinal. Right now, Armuchee leads at 31-16, and we will step out for 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes down the line, we'll be back for the second half.
If you were injured in an accident,
It wasn't my fault.
but you called an Atlanta TV law firm.
That was my fault.
If you were injured in an accident,
Call Cromartie Law.
Personal service from local attorneys.
we don't get paid unless we win.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like the model high school Blue Devils and Lady Devils, success starts with a solid game plan. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead.
Yeah, things have changed over the years to make life easier, but still, some stuff you do, it's great to pass on to your kids.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
We're gonna take care of you.
if you ever hear these sounds, or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
Welcome back into Winthrop King Center. Matt Davis and Ian Griffin bringing you a live play-by-play. Let's try that again. Coverage of Armuchee and Rockmart in a semifinal game in the girls bracket. Our first of 4 semifinal games taking place here tonight. Of course, coming up after this one, it is going to be one that is definitely going to be a matchup fans look forward to. I think we'll have a really big crowd on hand for Model and Rome boys, and then we'll have 2 more games. We'll give you those in just a minute, but we're about to start the second half. In fact, it's underway.
It's go time.
Here we go. Rockmart with the basketball, trailing 31-16, trying to grab some early momentum. Shot is up off the side of the backboard, and coming out with it is Harris. Armuchee will bring it up the floor the other way. Working it down low is going to be Art right to the bucket and scores.
Yeah, one with the left hand, coast to coast.
Rockmart going to work quick the other way. There's Peak for 3 off the front of the rim. Long rebound for Puckett. Gives it over to Art. Cross-court pass. Gets it to the left wing side of Vitello. Inside to McConkey off the glass. Off the front of the rim won't go, but the rebound goes to Vitello. Spins around, and we're going to have a whistle against Rockmart.
And that'll be taken out on the baseline. But again, the ball movement just excellent there. And they're actually going to call that a shot. I think she was trying to pass it, but
Atlanta Mitchell was charged with the foul, by the way, and the first shot is through.
Vitello making the most of her trip to the stripe.
Second free throw along for Vitello. Misses that one. Rebound is going to be picked up by Brianna Benonaz. I think it was, well, they got a little out of control on the other end, Ian. All right. Puckett will inbound the ball to Arp. Now back to Puckett. Trying to get around some pressure there. Armuchee's able to pass out of it. Wasn't pretty, but they got it over there.
They did. Rockmart trying to force the issue here, see if they can get some easy buckets.
Harris going to fire it over to Vitello off the glass, and she's going back to the line.
Yeah, attacking the rim here to start the second half. And this will be Vitello's second trip to the free throw line in as many possessions.
And Ian, right now, she's 50% from the line. Second shot on the way, and that one's off the rim. What is that, 33.33?
Yeah,
33?
You're on it, man.
Yeah. 1 of 3.
He's a human calculator.
Oh, yeah. Shot on the way, and that one's off the back of the iron, but it rattles in. So back to 50%.
That's right.
Thank goodness. She got us back to some easy math. 7:01 left to go in the third quarter of the ball game. Armuchee leads at 35-16. Rockmart trying to chip their way back into this one. And here comes Atlanta Mitchell. Bounce pass underneath the Green, puts up the shot, gets her own rebound, gets fouled, and she's going to the line is Green. Just want to take this opportunity to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season. And hope it's been a good one so far, and Thanksgiving and all that good stuff, and hope it stays that way. Shot on the way, that one's left short.
You gotten your shopping done? You're a last-minute guy, right?
I'm a last-minute guy, but thankfully my wife Tanya has been on it this year, and so she's helped me pull through early, so I think we're mostly done. Shot on the way, but it's not because of me, it's because of her. Second shot falls for Green. How about you?
No basket. Well, I just paid a...
Did they say no basket?
No basket,
okay.
Lane violation, yeah. I just paid way too much to get a package to my daughter out in Seattle. She moved out there a few months ago, and but other than that, I'm hanging in there. A little more shopping to do.
Puckett for 3, and that one's going to bounce high off the rim. Ball loose on the floor, kept in bounds, but an Armuchee player comes out with it. It was Harris. Here's Puckett for 3 again, and that one's too strong. Rebound goes to Rockmart, so they weather that storm on the other end. Peak with it, sends it up top. Rockmart thought about the 3. Atlanta Mitchell's got the ball in her hand, a little hesitant there with the defender in her face. Now she's going to work towards the paint, backs back up. They got 19 seconds on the shot clock. Going to turn, shoot. That's going to be left short, kept in bounds, but to Arp, who picks off the pass. She goes back the other way. Right now Harris has got it. They fire it back out, wide open for Arp, and she's going to nail that most of the time.
And that gets her into double digits with 10 points. She's racked up some rebounds and assists, so she is stuffing the stat sheet, as you would expect the coach's kid to do.
Stolen away. Josie Harris came out with it. Good teamwork on defense there for Armuchee. They get it to Puckett, fires the 3. That one's short. Vitello charges in, gets the rebound. The putback won't fall. Rockmart gets a rebound, and we got a whistle. I think this is going to be against Armuchee.
We're going to get Harris on that one. I think. I don't know. Look. Yes.
Yeah, yep. And so we'll see Kamari Peak. You remember there was a football player at Rockmart years ago named Kwame Peak. I wonder if they're related. He was an outstanding athlete.
Heck of a player.
Across the timeline, Rockmart goes. They go right into the paint. Nobody picked her up underneath, and scoring is Anaya Prater. Kind of a breakdown on the defensive side there. Josie Harris now to Vitello. Vitello to Kelsey Arp. Now back around to Puckett. They've got it to Josie. Puckett with the basketball again. Going to send it over to Arp. Long range 3. That one's off the mark. You kind of tell when she shot that shot. Kind of came out a little funny.
It was a little awkward on the release.
Peak with the basketball for Rockmart after the outlet pass goes in, puts it up, hangs on the rim. A collision underneath the basket. Ooh, that was dangerous.
Yeah, she went down hard, but seems to be just fine. Oh, to be young. If I fell that hard on the floor, I might not get back up.
The holidays would be ruined. I mean, for you and for me. I'm not just picking on you saying that. It gets different as you age, no doubt about that. Here's the shot from Peak, going to leave that one short. Gets ready for a second. Yeah, I've got out of the car before, and it just seemed like a totally routine exit from the car and couldn't walk for a day or two because I tweaked my back. It's been a while since I've done that, but true story. Second shot on the way, and that one's off the side of the rim. It won't fall. Arp comes out with a rebound. Is going to work it up the floor slow. 4:50 left to go in the third quarter. Armuchee up by 20 points, 38-18. Arp. Harris now on the right wing, gets it inside. They drive. McConkey, strong move, feeds it back out after the block shot. Harris with it, sends it back to Arp. She works towards the low block. Nifty move and pass, and a whisk and a travel.
That's some good defense from Rockmart. They've slowed this attack down a little bit. So that's step one. Now they've got to find a way to get baskets on the other end of the floor if they're going to get back in this game.
Ball stolen away. Armuchee with it. They're going to send it left wing side, get it into McConkey, but it's stolen right back by Prater, who picks off the pass. Prater goes coast to coast, stops at the free throw line, fires, and misses the rim, and it sails out of bounds. Now, Ian, coming up after this one, we're going to have a barn burner. It is going to be the Rome and Model boys. And that'll be at 5:30. At 7, it's Model Pepperell girls. That should also be a really good game.
Yeah, absolutely. I was impressed with Pepperell yesterday.
I was also. And then at 8:30, it's going to be the Darlington Rockmart boys. And so we're looking forward to a lot of good basketball tonight.
Yeah. And on the women's side, you've got a bunch of tenured coaches in Floyd County and the surrounding areas as well. So these coaches are familiar with each other, and those chess matches are a lot of fun to watch, how they adjust throughout the games. So it's going to be a fun night of basketball here. And the trend from yesterday of the gym, good attendance here for an early game. Everybody's just getting off work, but they're filing in steadily. I imagine by the time we tip this boys game off, this place is going to be packed.
It's going to be interesting to see, to your point, as the night progresses, and I think by the end of the tournament, you may be in a situation where people start to get turned away because they won't be able to fit anybody else in here. But we'll see what happens with that. But right now, Armuchee going to inbound the ball. Some pressure here from Rockmart, but Armuchee's able to get past it. Here's Vitello driving in the lane, gets fouled, and is going back to the charity stripe.
Yeah, Armuchee has come out and been very aggressive attacking the basket, not settling for as many threes. Not that they settled in the first half. They were good looks, but they're definitely trying to get to the rim a little bit more, and that's yielding a lot of free throw attempts here in the third quarter.
Shot goes off the back iron. And obviously that only helps your team when you've got that sort of dynamic where you do have shooters on the perimeter that you can get to, but some players that you can count on to get the ball inside and get points, whether that is, getting them in the paint or getting to the free throw line. Shot was missed, by the way. 38-18 the score remains. We're just under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Rockmart and Armuchee on top. This is a girls semifinal game, our first one of the evening here from Shorter. Rockmart with the basketball. They feed it up top. Mitchell doesn't get a look, so she kicks it out left wing side, fires the three, left that one short, and travels.
Yeah, I just heard from Gavin Booker, by the way, and he just wants you to know that his math skills are the reason why he is a great asset to WLAQ.
Oh, man.
So he's running circles around us.
I like it.
Teach, man. He's
Well, I will say this, man. I'm glad that we had Gavin and Luke after us because they did a great job last night. I wouldn't want to follow those guys up. They get it down low. There's a shot off the glass, too high, too strong, rather, which resulted in it being too high, Ian. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Are we getting into physics or what is the deal there?
Higher math. Yeah. Matt's challenging you, Gavin, if you're listening.
Get into some other subjects. Get some complicated stuff for the holidays. Peak's got it. Going to drive towards the free throw line. Little runner. That is going to be missed. Ball ricochets off a couple of Yellow Jackets. Now they'll get another look. It's Peak again, this time for three. Rolls across the rim into the hands of the Armuchee Lady Indians. To be more specific, it was Harris. Heave across court. Gets it to Puckett off the glass. That one rattles off. And it feels like both teams are a little bit out of rhythm right here.
Absolutely. Rockmart has executed one phase of trying to make the comeback here. The defense has been really solid from the Yellow Jackets here in the second half. They just can't find ways to get buckets on the other end.
Puckett takes the inbound pass, feeds it up top to Kelsey Arp. Now on to Harris, fires the three, and that one is a little bit short. Had the line, but went off the front of the rim. Lana Mitchell for Rockmart across the midcourt stripe. She goes between the circles, sets up their half-court set, sends it left wing side. Searching. Going to dribble back up towards the top of the key. Johnson's got the basketball, now feeds it right. Driving is Mitchell. And a foul is going to go against Armuchee. They wanted the travel against Mitchell, but it's the foul that gets called.
Solid defense. Since the first quarter, Armuchee has outscored Rockmart 28-8.
So Peak taking some instruction there from the coaches. Looked like a little bit of confusion there as they get ready for the inbound pass on what the call was. And they have trouble again getting it in. We've seen that maybe 3 or 4 times in the game, Ian.
Yeah, it's only the second time I think it's been called, but they've been close a few other times. Armuchee has been tenacious on defense all night.
Tori Vitello up. The press is successful. They steal it away. Peak's got it, and it creates an open look for a 3, but it's a miss. Gets her own rebound. Peak again, this time for a long 2. That one won't go. Another look there for Rockmart, and finally they find pay dirt. It was Anaya Prater who got one to fall.
Coach Harp's going to take a timeout to regroup.
So with that said, we'll take one as well. 2:02 left to go third quarter. Right now, Armuchee with an 18-point, 38-20 lead over Rockmart in a girls semifinal. We're back in 30 seconds.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're going to take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health, feel whole.
Armuchee inbounds the ball, leading at 38-20 out of the timeout, and turn the ball over. Rockmart has got it, but it is almost stolen right back from Vitello, but she knocks the ball out of bounds, and it will stay on Rockmart's end of the floor.
You kind of sense Kamari Peak pressing a little bit. She's trying to create her own shot. It's been tough for her to get them to fall here in the second half.
Going to go up top to Green. Now they get the ball back over to Johnson. Johnson dribbles, gives it off to Atlanta Mitchell. Mitchell starts to go to work on Kelsey Arp, but Arp right in front of her, not giving anywhere to go. Works her left side, and then the ball goes out of bounds, tipped by Armuchee.
Arp doesn't agree with the call.
No, she protested a little bit.
Yeah.
Not directly at the official, but
that's right. That's right. You've got to watch what you say and which direction you say it in.
Yes, you do. Johnson going to inbound the ball here for Rockmart. They trail by 18. Little inbound pass. Johnson has now got it. Nope, it is stolen away. Coming out with it was Vitello. It goes to Puckett. Now inside to McConkey, and we're going to have a whistle. They got Peak again.
Couple of quick fouls.
Nope, it was not on Peak. It was number 12, Brianna Benonez, excuse me. And so Armuchee set to inbound the basketball. They're going to send it up top to Puckett. Now around the left wing side to Arp. Inside, they kick it out. Now going back to that inside out look. Over to the left wing side, they go to Vitello. Going to work it inside, nice cut. They kick it out to the right wing to Arp, drives in, puts it up, too strong.
Arp makes that 99 times out of 100, I think, though. She got too sped up there. It was wide open. Good ball movement there on that set.
Prater around the screen, sends it right wing side, gets it to Peak. Peak surveys the floor, lobs it underneath. Prater turns, shoots, misses, but she does get fouled and will go to the stripe. And so free throws coming up from Prater. And Ian, we have seen her at the line one other time in the game, and she knocked down 2 in a row. So she's currently shooting 100%.
That is accurate math there. That sure is.
First shot on the way, and that one's off the front of the rim.
Well, you know, I don't agree with the order of the playoff games tomorrow, but it's a gift to you. You get to watch the best one before you have to come and set up to cover the championship game.
Texas A&M and Miami,
Yeah,
that's the noon game, huh?
Indeed.
Shot on the way, and that one's off the back of the rim. You know, I was kind of surprised to see how lopsided the score was in the Kennesaw State game. They were playing one of the directional Michigan teams. I forget which one it is. But they got beat like 41-7 or something like that. They play that song that says you don't want to go to war with the owl. Well, I think that Michigan team did. It worked out for them.
Yeah, it did. It did.
I pick on Kennesaw State. I'm a Jacksonville State guy, and I love the fact that Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State have developed quite a heated rivalry, and I participate. They beat us in the conference
they got the last one.
It hurt my feelings, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Rockmart with the basketball. They're going to work at left wing side. Try not to get worked up about sports like that, but occasionally I can't avoid it. Here's Peak for 3, and that one is too strong. Misses the rim.
And her body language is saying it all right now. She's frustrated. Shots aren't falling.
Atlanta Mitchell with the basketball now for Rockmart. Starts to work her way in. Backs up. Now works down baseline. Puts it up and gets fouled by Arp. And we got 2.9 seconds until we get to the final frame of this one.
Do you have the totals on scoring in this quarter? Because Rockmart has absolutely clamped down on defense.
Yeah, I'll give that to you here in just a second. First free throw on the way there from Mitchell leaves that one short. So she'll get ready for her second of the pair. Right now, Armuchee has scored 7 points to Rockmart's 4.
Okay.
Here in this third quarter. Second shot on the way. That one's off the back of the rim. Battle for the rebound is won by Vitello, and Armuchee comes out with it. That is the end of the third quarter, and Armuchee's going to lead it going into the final 8 minutes of this semifinal game by a score of 38-20 over Rockmart. We're back for it after a 1-minute break.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making tonight's broadcast possible. Our presenting sponsor, Cromartie Law. Instant Replay is brought to you by Smith & Woods Wealth Management. We also thank Mathis True Value Hardware, Advent Health Redmond, World's Finest Chocolate, and the Herb Shop on Broad. Please support the businesses that support us.
Dog bite, slip and fall, or someone else's negligence, you need Cromartie Law. Call 706-622-4853 for your free consultation. Get personal service from local attorneys.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
Gold ball history for you. Of course, when you look at this matchup, Rockmart has never won a gold ball, but I don't know how many years they've actually participated in this tournament. They're not in it every year like some of the teams. Armuchee, they have won 4, and their last been a while. That was 2001, so that is a drought that they would like to end this year, Ian, for sure.
And this is a team that can get it done, I think.
I agree with you 100%. Definitely as competitive as any team that we've seen in the tournament thus far. Shot on the way is too strong. It is missed. And they've got a pretty good amount of depth here on this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw what they look like when they're firing on cylinders. That second quarter is the story of the ball game.
Shot on the way, 3 ball. That one's too strong. And we're going to have a whistle as teams battle for the rebound. But yeah, Armuchee won gold balls back a couple in the late 90s, 1996, 1998. And then they won back-to-back in 2000 and 2001. So
yeah, that is quite a long drought. 20-plus years.
And, I think it's more of a testament to the amount of quality basketball programs that we've had in the area between Rome and Model and this Armuchee girls program. Of course, when you look, we'll talk about this more in the next game. The Model boys have only had a couple of gold balls, and think about how many
great
deep
Model
runs
teams.
in the state they've had.
I
But they've had to contend against East Rome and some good teams at West Rome and Coosa and, these different programs. Darlington's had some years where they were dominant in the tournament. Rome, so, all right. Armuchee bringing it up the floor. Vitello with it. She is trapped between 3 players, and a timeout is called timely there by Michelle Art.
Indeed.
So we're going to take this one as well. We've got 7:18 left to go in this game. It's 38-20, Armuchee on top. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're going to take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Welcome you back in as we resume the fourth quarter of this one. And of course, when we ended our third quarter of the basketball game, the score was where it currently is right now, 38-20 in favor of Armuchee. The quarter that's been the difference was the second quarter, where Armuchee outscored Rockmart 21-6 in that quarter. And since then, the production and points has slowed down considerably, but man, they were able to build a big lead that Rockmart has really had a tough time climbing out of the hole here. Armuchee with the basketball, ball loose on the floor, both teams battling for it. Coming out with it was Armuchee. Art with it, sends it outside. There's Harris for 3. That one's off the back of the rim. It won't fall, and it's off on Rockmart.
Yeah, that heat check in the second quarter was the difference in this game. Kudos to Rockmart for coming out and making it a rock fight in the third.
Art inbound pass, block shot as Vitello went up, had a follow-up shot, missed that. There's McConkey, and it goes through. 3 chances there, Ian.
Yeah, Avery Green with the rejection there for Rockmart, but and now we got a turnover. And the body language is not good right now from the Yellow Jackets. Just frustrated by this Armuchee press and in-your-face defense that they play.
Kelsey Arp surveys the floor, going to fire it in outside, gets it to McConkey, now out to Harris, hands it off to Puckett, now on to Arp. Good ball movement on this sequence there from Armuchee. They get it to Vitello, sends it left wing side to Harris, but good defense by Rockmart. Yeah. Stolen away by Peak. They had them covered up, driving, and she gets fouled on her way in.
They're going to give her the continuation, too. Yeah. Her first bucket in quite some time. She had a frustrating third quarter, just couldn't get the ball to go down.
And these are only the third and fourth free throw attempts here from Peak. She missed her first 2, trying to get dialed in here as they try to climb out of the hole here. Shot on the way, that's off the back of the rim, it won't fall. Rebound's going to be picked up by Arp, and Armuchee will come back the other way with an 18-point lead. Arp drives, kicks it out right wing side, gets it to Harris. Harris around to Vitello. She will back up, reset the offense here in the half court here for the Armuchee Lady Indians. They go underneath the Arp, now inside to Vitello. Strong move to the basket, and she gets fouled.
How many free throw attempts has she gotten in this ball game so far?
I'm going to provide you with an answer, sir.
I figured
in
you'd
the
have
third quarter, she had 6 attempts, made 2 of 6, and these will be her first attempts of the fourth quarter.
All right.
It's Christmas. Ask and you shall receive.
I love it. Love it.
As long as you're on the good list for Santa Claus, because he's watching you.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's everywhere. Shots up and in. That was Vitello. Knocks down another free throw. Substitution into the game here for Rockmart. And checking in is going to be Ariana Rawls. I don't think we've called her name tonight.
No, we have not.
Shot on the way for Vitello, and she knocks down 2 in a row for the first time tonight. 6:07 left to go. Armuchee back to a 20-point lead. Rockmart with the basketball, dribbling on the far sidelines. They're going to kick it up, trying to get to the top of the key. Ball ricochets off a couple of players back into the hands of Rockmart, and a foul is going to be called. I think they got Harris. Yeah.
The unmistakable waft of Chick-fil-A coming at us.
Yeah. Which will be in addition to the roster. I think last night they were down to pizza by the time I made a move towards the concession stand. Inbound pass is going to go to Atlanta Mitchell. Mitchell drives off towards the right wing side. She has got Arp in her face, screen, trying to get Arp off the person with the ball on the dribble. Mitchell with it, works around the screen from Peak. Can't get a look though, the defense is right on it.
Yeah.
Gonna feed it right side, stolen away. McConkey got her hands in there, but Rockmart got it right back. They'll back up, ball loose on the floor, diving for the 50-50 ball. You had 4 players going after it. That'll make the coaches happy.
Yep, that's gonna stay with Rockmart.
I love it when you see that level of intensity.
Absolutely.
Like the balance of the game hangs on every single play, no matter what the score is.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
That is. That's what you coach. It's easy to let your emotions get the better of you and let hang your head when you're down, but we're not seeing that from Rockmart. There's been some frustration for sure.
But the effort's been there, to your point, from start until where we are now. Shot on the way, and that was
beautiful.
Kamari Peak, she gets her second 3 of the night, Ian.
Yeah.
Vitello.
She ran the baseline and stepped right into that one. He knew it was going down when it left her hand.
And a foul on the other end is going to be called on Rockmart. This is on the floor. And we will see a substitution here for Rockmart. Checking into the game is going to be Naija Darden. She will check in for Avery Green.
Green with some good minutes there. Had a block and a couple of rebounds.
Aubrey McConkey fires it into the backcourt. Gets it to Arp. Inside to Vitello. Can't get the scoop shot. Kicks it out. Puckett to Arp. 3 ball. And just missed. Rebound taken by McConkey, and this team just keeps coming after you, man.
They sure do.
They don't give up on the play whatsoever. They just keep going. Arp surveys the floor, ready to feed it in for Armuchee. They get it to Vitello on the perimeter. Puckett now to McConkey. Spins around, puts it up, little hook shot, misses, gets her own rebound, too strong off the backboard. And ball stolen away by Puckett after Rockmart had picked up the rebound. Batted back into Arp. Off the glass, won't go. Kind of an unusual sequence there.
Yeah.
As I start throwing my pen all over Winthrop King Center.
Feeding frenzy down there in the paint, going after the ball. Blood in the water.
So Arp ready to feed it in here for Armuchee. She's going to sit it into Vitello. Vitello at the top of the key, sends it to the near side. Puckett for 3, that's off the mark. Arp tracks down a long rebound. Now gets it back over to McConkey up top. Vitello with it. 19 seconds on the shot clock. They fire it inside. Now back to McConkey off the glass and through.
Beautiful feed. And that was Bella Duck with the assist. Little give and go.
And here's Peak for 3, and that one caroms across the rim. Put back won't fall. Rebound Vitello.
Armuchee take the air out of the ball a little bit here.
Here comes Vitello with it. We're under 4 minutes to go now. We've got 3:48 left to go. Vitello with a basketball, backs up. Now on to Puckett between the circles, sends it right wing side, gets it over to Arp. Pass is deflected, stays with Armuchee though. They're going to fire it left wing, now back up top to Puckett. And now they get it down to 8 on the shot clock. They'll make a move. Here comes Arp, goes inside, nice Euro step off the glass, hangs on the rim and falls off the front of the rim.
It's going to stay with Armuchee, and that'll reset the shot clock. Because Arp did draw a rim there on that layup attempt.
We got Nia Borders checking into the game, as well as Addie Albert, both players, I believe, for the first time of the ball game.
Some fresh legs out there for Rockmart.
Arp surveying the floor, going to send it up top. Now works it around to Harris. They get it to Arp, and as you pointed out, we're seeing Armuchee get more deliberate with each possession, just trying to eat this clock, secure the victory, which looks pretty secure at 44-25 right now. They got to feel really good about that, obviously.
Shot clock winding down.
Arp inside to McConkey, goes in, and the ball's bounced out of bounds by Rockmart.
Yeah, 3 seconds left on the shot clock, so they're going to have to find a set play and pretty much catch and shoot.
So Puckett will handle the inbound duties here. They get it inside of Vitello, fires the three, doesn't catch the rim, so that's going to be a shot clock violation. I think that's the first one of those we've seen in the game, isn't it?
We saw one against Rockmart in the first half, so I think that's the second.
First for Armuchee for sure.
Yes.
Atlanta Mitchell sends it left wing side to Peak. Peak with it back to Mitchell, thought about the three, and that hesitation there forced her to shuffle her feet in front of the official and turn the ball over. And credit to the defense on that.
Yeah.
Puckett's got it, sends it left wing side. McConkey with the basketball, fires it back out to Arp. 2:35 left to go here in the ball game. Armuchee in firm control, up 44-25 with the amount of time left in this game. There's Vitello getting fouled on her way up.
Vitello attacking the basket. That has been a theme of the second half. These will be her 9th and 10th free throw attempts of the game. All in the second half.
All in the second half, yeah. Shot on the way, left that one short. She'll get ready for a second free throw. Next game coming up is going to be a fun one. It's going to be the Model Blue Devils and the Rome Wolves. Everybody loves that matchup. We don't see it often except for really in the tournament. Hey, we got Alex Fair here now with Jackets Online, formerly the sports editor from the Rome News Tribune. It's not the tournament unless you see that guy.
That's right. That's right.
For sure. Did a great job. As much as I was happy for him that he got to chase a dream covering the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, sure hated to see him not be the sports editor. Although Zeke's done a fantastic job.
He sure has. The legacy there is continued with Mr. Palermo at the helm.
No doubt. And the list of people that we get to see at the tournament grows. That's the one good thing about that. Rockmart with the basketball from the free throw line, and that is a shot clock violation. Armuchee going to bring it back the other way with time dwindling in this one for a comeback for sure. Here's a shot off the glass, a little out of control there. Puckett's got it, gives it out to Art. She'll reset the half-court offense. Take their time.
Yep, that's the recipe to milk this clock away.
To the left wing side, now back up top. Art with it. Going to sit it inside to McConkey. Now Art starts to drive, feeds it back out. Vitello now duck. And Arp jacks up the three. That one's left short, hit the net, kept in bounds. Rockmart and Armuchee battles for it, and we got a jump ball.
Possession arrows headed towards Rockmart.
We kind of have to squint and look for the little holes on the back of the light because it's facing the opposite direction. We're behind it on the scorer's table. All right, we're going to see Shyla Moore inbound the ball here for Rockmart. We got 1:11 left to go in this one, and Armuchee up 44-25.
Some fresh Indians in the game. Jenna Rowland enters the game, as does Eva Holsomback. Let's see who else is taking the floor here. Number 23, that's Sydney Egan.
And so here comes Rockmart up the floor. Yellow Jackets across the midcourt stripe. Going to send it to the left wing side. Subs in the game for them as well. Three ball, that's off the front of the iron. Put back is going to go in the first bucket of the game for Shyla Moore.
Yeah, nice shot there.
Armuchee going to bring it back the other way. And again, a lot of fresh faces, as you pointed out. Boozer with the basketball right now for Armuchee. She'll pick up her dribble, fires it across the timeline, gets it to her teammate, Joy Fountain. Ball poked loose. Fountain trying to keep it on their end of the floor, and we got another jump ball. They are battling.
They are. Making the most of the minutes they get. Absolutely. Get a chance to play in this tournament. We talked about it at the onset of the game with the special warm-up jerseys. This is a special tournament. It means something a little extra.
And an opportunity for teams on both sides to try to develop some depth here that you might need later. A scoop shot or a hook shot's going to be missed. Got an opportunity here, Ian, for Fountain.
And Joy Fountain, that's a freshman. That does not look like a freshman frame.
No, it does not. And so Joy stands at the free throw line with 30.6 seconds left to go in this one, an opportunity to get in the stat sheet here at the end of the game. Shot on the way, and that one rattles off the rim just a hair off the mark. I got a feeling she's going to make this second one.
I think so. Good looking shot.
Trying to zero in on the second free throw. The freshman Fountain puts it up, and that rattles in. What did I tell you?
He did. You knew it. Just start calling you Jambi.
Mecca lecca hi, mecca hidey ho. People that don't get that reference are like, what in the
who are these
heck
two
are these guys
geezers
talking about? Oh, boy. Rockmart with the basketball. People that got it, though, they loved it. 3 ball on the way. And rebound, battle for it as she dives. Fountain couldn't keep it in bounds, but you love the effort there.
Yeah, absolutely. Fighting to the last whistle.
Can't believe you threw in a John B. reference there.
No, you're out here telling me the future, huh?
Shot is going to be partially blocked there. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Rockmart. We're down to the final 8 seconds and another jump ball. How many of those have we had in the last 2 minutes?
A lot, which speaks to the effort that you're getting from the ladies out on the floor.
These players want to fight for some more playing time.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to send it into the right wing side. Jacks up the 3, and that was just a little bit short. And 2 seconds left on the clock. Another look, and that is it. The Armuchee Lady Indians have punched their clock to go to the championship game tomorrow to try to get their first gold ball since 2001. And certainly they've got the talent to try to pull that off. We'll see who their opponent is going to be later on in the evening. But again, Armuchee wins it by a final score of 44-27. We'll send it back to the studio for a 3-minute timeout. We'll come back, wrap up our broadcast of our first game, and then we'll start to set the stage for the second game. It's going to be the Rome and Model Boys coming up in game 2 at 5:30. So we will step out for 3 minutes.
Been injured by a car wreck, dog bite, slip and fall, or someone else's negligence? You need Cromartie Law. Call 706-622-4853 for your free consultation. Get personal service from local attorneys.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like a great basketball team, success starts with a solid game plan. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead.
Yeah, things have changed over the years to make life easier, but still, some stuff you do, it's great to pass on to your kids.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
We're gonna take care of you.
if you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
welcome you back in live here to the Winthrop King Center on the Hill at Shorter University. I'm Matt Davis alongside Ian Griffin, and we are going to recap our first game and start to set the stage for our second game. But interesting game there between Rockmart and Armuchee. Armuchee pulls away flurry of scoring there in the second quarter, and really, Ian, you pointed this out, that quarter was the difference in the game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. They started to work the ball down to the block, kick it out to their guards. They were on fire from outside the arc. They were getting buckets underneath, and that separation allowed them to just melt the game away in the second half.
Well, Ian, let's go ahead and break down the scoring. And again, that second quarter there to end the first half, you would see Armuchee outscore Rockmart in that quarter 21-6, and they would eventually win the game again 44-27. So you can see how the math worked out in that situation. Let's start with the Rockmart Lady Yellow Jackets. They would have 5 players that scored in the game. You had Brianna Benonez. She would pick up 2 points from the field, also 2 for Shyla Moore late in the game. That was in the fourth quarter. 1 point for Atlanta Mitchell from the free throw line, 6 points for Anaya Prater, and the leading scorer for Rockmart and the game overall, I should add, was Kamari Peak. The freshman would pick up 14 points, so they've got her for the rest of this year and 3 more.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a talented young lady, and really had to carry the team offensively, and did a good job handling that pressure, because the Armuchee defense, with Coach Arp's system, they're in your face for 4 quarters.
No question about that, Ian. And for Armuchee scoring, they would have 8 players that got in the scoring totals in terms of getting some points there, and they had 2 players that got in double digits. 1 player was a point shy of that, but here's how it would break down. 5 points for Kelsey Arp, 1 point for Joy Fountain from the free throw line, the freshman there late in the ball game. 2 points for Aubrey McConkey, 3 points for Trinity Park, 2 points for Bella Duck, and then the 3 leading scorers tonight here for the Armuchee Lady Indians. 9 points for Josie Harris. Remember, she had 23 points against Darlington in the first round. And then you would have 10 points for Kelsey Arp. I switched her with Peyton Puckett. Peyton Puckett had 5, Kelsey Arp had 10, and then Tori Vitello would knock down 11. So again, you had 3 players there, 2 that were in double digits and 1 that was a notch lower than 10.
Speaks to the unselfish play of the Lady Indians, and again, the guard play was excellent. I was impressed with how the guards rebounded and how the bigs passed the ball. Just a well-coached team and a team, like you said, that has a lot of familiarity with each other. They played together for a long time, and it shows on the court.
But credit where credit's due. Rockmart continued to battle from the beginning to the end of that basketball game. Obviously, there were some frustrating moments of the contest, but they kept hanging in there trying to make it a game. But again, it was that second quarter where the separation was made and the hill was too big to climb. Armuchee wins it again by a final score of 44-27. Well, we got 3 more games here tonight. The next one is going to be a good one. It's going to be the Rome Wolves and the Model Blue Devils, and we're glad to bring you the call of that one coming up in just a little bit. Later on this evening, Gavin Booker and Luke Reynolds to bring you Model and Pepperell Girls, another matchup that we're really excited about hanging around and watching. And then the nightcap will be the Darlington and Rockmart Boys, another good game there. And those 2 guys will have the call of those last 2. So it's going
to be a fun night. I haven't got to see this Darlington Tigers team play yet, but I've heard they're something special.
Yeah, one of the words that I keep hearing about this team that kind of separates them from some of the really good teams that they've had recently is their depth. And they've had some good depth the last couple of years, but I think they've added to it, and they also have some size, real athletic players, and some guys that can score the basketball. So we're looking forward to watching them as well in all the teams tonight. Well, we got to take a nice long break because we got a couple things to do. I got to get down to the scorers table and get the starters for the next game, make sure all the rosters check out, and then also the video stream's got to prepare their stream for the next one and play a special message for you. So we're going to step out for 5 minutes, but we'll be back with more basketball in 5 minutes here in just a little bit. We'll be back.